The United States of America sold out to corporate interests long before they formalized the arrangement. After the Trump plague, the US lost its place as world military and economic leader. It only found its footing when its resources were divided into 6 regions, each controlled by a massive megacorp. So long USA, hello ACA. There has been no United States for more than 150 years, but there has always been a powerful nostalgia that clung to its memory. Looking back through an optimistic lens, it is possible to overlook the many sins of the past and see it as the good old days. Since the fall, the New America movement has worked to bring America to the wasted world. It has been slow going, but one by one, elements of the old world have been brought into the new. There's a president who has been coordinating groups that are restoring services. Of these services, the most important and most American is the military. Through the efforts of Special Agent Goldwater, Bastion has come to the attention of New America. He has asked the president herself for help against Curse, and today, that help arrives.
Welcome all. Let's lead off with, we normally do this in the middle, but I want to get it off my mind before I forget. Happy birthday to Danielle, our very own D. A shout out from the ether from about 150 years in the future. I'm sure she can hear us because she has magic clown ears. We're going to begin back in time about 20 years, give or take. And I know we're talking about past and future. That slider, what I'm saying past now is the future and is our point in time with the usual progression of our game. So when I say we're going back, we're back from the future. Marty! We go back from the future about 20 years. We meet Chase Case. Yes, Chase's mother was that cruel. Chase Case is a skinny lad born to 2 parents who called themselves red-blooded Americans who live in a place called Springfield. Most of the folks in Springfield are freedom-loving pregens. So pregens are those that have not been mutated. They blame the corporal communists of the ACA for the fall. Like many of his generation, he was unmutated, but inbreeding had done its terrible work, so he was scrawny and sickly. In case you've not caught on, Josh, you are Chase Case, the scrawny young unmutated man from the small town of Springfield. You don't have you've been having, so let's call him up. Call everybody up, and I don't know why I'm still Wizard Nystul. That's me. You love your town, you love your country. But as you get bigger and your friends get bigger than you are, and when they're playing ball, you can't quite keep up. You get tired easily, and you're the kind of kid that insists on playing full out all the time. So you always feel like you're a step behind. So we're going to start with a house, basically a farmhouse that looks a little like the Kent farm. And you have just confessed to Mama that you don't feel like you have what it takes to serve the community. So can I have young Chase and Mama, please?
Son.
Yes, Mama.
I think you're being too hard on yourself. I think there are many ways that people can serve their communities and serve this great nation that we live in. And it's not all about your physical prowess. There are many ways you can do that.
It just feels like no matter what I do, I'm always going to be weaker. I mean, look, I was trying to play chase and then I tripped and I fell in the mud and now my face looks like this. And it's just, no one else falls in the mud but me. They call me Mud Boy.
That's not true. First of all, children can be very cruel when they see someone who has different wonderful abilities like you. Yours may not be that you're the fastest boy in town in Springfield, but I think it could be that you're very creative and you can apply so many of your personal skills to making the world a better place. It doesn't have to come from being fast. And mud is probably very good for your skin. I would imagine it's very hydrating.
What do you think my skills are, Mom? If you were gonna say like, oh, young Chase, my favorite 3 things about you. What are your favorite things about me, Mom?
Well, my favorite 3 things. How could I choose 3, son, when there are so many to choose from? That's like asking me to choose my favorite cloud in the sky. How would I do that possibly?
Well, I just don't know if everyone's always going to be stronger and faster. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll be creative. Who knows? I mean, do you like the paintings I make you? Because you never hang them.
I want to preserve their value. I think if they go on the wall, who's to say the quality will be preserved? The light and the radiation, we just have to make sure that they're safe and secure. I think, dear, that your best qualities are what's on the inside. I think it's about how kind and creative and how you think outside of the box. I admire those things about you, dear.
Well, okay, if you say so. I don't know sometimes it's all overwhelming, and it's like I don't even really know this world that I'm growing up in. It's like almost like it's the first time I'm hearing about it, and I just don't even know, what are the paths for someone like me? Like, what could I even hope to achieve? I can't, I'll never be a soldier. I'll never work for the ACA. I'll never do anything.
Well, I think there are more paths than just those 2, but who's to say you couldn't be a soldier and serve this wonderful country? There are probably lots of scrawny infantrymen. That's possible. And even if not, you could be a medic. You're very good with bandages.
I'm really good with band-aids.
You have to deal with a lot of scrapes and cuts and bruises of your own. So you're very adept at dealing with injuries. So maybe a medic is what you could do to serve.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
And maybe we could get you on a protein regimen, huh?
Is protein a readily available resource?
We can find a way to get it. I think if we send you out with a weapon of some sort, you are very eager. I think we could try a lot of different things.
Okay. What kind of weapon do you think? I mean, like, because that I have these short little scrawny arms, so my wingspan, my reach is not good. That's why I get pushed in the mud, because I try and push the other kids and they palm me and into the mud I go. So I don't think,
close combat isn't your forte.
Not right now. And I'm small. I might be able to lure people into caves and beat them there, but
that's a good idea. What about guerrilla tactics? What about that? That's something we could work on.
Yeah.
I think that's a great strategy for people who are outnumbered and still want to make a big difference. And you could use your creativity for how you could create traps. And I think there's a lot of ways that this could be really productive for you.
Oh my God, Mom, my head is just full of ideas on how to ambush people and all kinds of things. It's just flowing.
I just love seeing you like this. You're so creative and you're so excited about potential maiming. I think that's what we need more of in this nation, is people who are prepared to do whatever it takes to get it done. And I think you're able to do that because it's what's inside. You don't have to be big and buff and burly to do some damage. Son.
Murder.
Colt,
let's pull the camera back, put everybody else up. And the camera would pull back and we'd see the 2. Mama gives little Chase a hug. A few years later, we see the bedroom. And his bedroom has a lot of art on the walls, although a lot of his art is military. It's a lot of planes and tanks. There's a lot of camo patterns that he designed himself. There's also a lot of toy traps with stuffed animals caught in them, which he's also bandaged. So there's a lot of like walking wounded toys in the room. and we take the camera and we go out through the window. Outside was a practice ground. The young man, and again, this is several years later, bolstered by the constant support and understanding of both Mama and Papa, he volunteered to serve in the Springfield militia. They trained him despite his limitations because of his grit and his gusto. His sergeant did him the favor of treating him no differently than any other soldier. So you were in no way mollycoddled. One day, though, while being trained as much as the people that were often twice your size, you collapse. You wake up in the bed tent, and in a moment of weakness, you talk to the medic about what it would take to wash out and have a moment when you go back to the conversation with your mom and like, maybe I'm an artist, maybe I'm a ballet dancer, I don't know. And he's just lie still. You don't want to, you cut yourself. You don't want to rip that when you fell. I'll be right back. And he comes back, but he is in the presence, he is accompanied by Sarge. So can I have, so there we go.
Soldier.
Sergeant.
I heard that you are thinking about leaving us.
I just, well, Sergeant, I just, it's been, they say that when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and my tough just ain't started going yet, sir. It just everyone's tough is going a lot more than my tough going. You know what I mean?
By that logic, you should stay. If your tough isn't going, then you wouldn't leave, and you would be, look, that's not what I'm talking about. I see something in you. I see the future. I see the past. I see the future and the past brought together into a glorious, shining present, like a gift, like a present is a gift. At any rate, I think you should stay. And I'll tell you why. A long time ago, before I was born and before my grandfather was born, there was a movie, a film about a guy, and it was about a time from like even before then. And he was scrawny and he wanted to quit. But did he quit? No. He got injected with some kind of super serum that turned him into an amazing soldier who fought for America. And I don't have that serum, but I'm holding out hope. And maybe it could be you one of these days.
Just, Sarge, you're talking about gifts. And I always thought my gift was, building the best ambushes on the world. When I finally found my passion, I wanted to be the very best at something, and I could make the sharpest punji sticks and the deepest pits and the coolest, these like swinging log things. If you could just see the engineering behind them, sir, it's unreal. But you're asking me to run and to climb and to jump, and I'm a whittler. I whittle my traps. I'm good with my hands. I'm dexterous, not such a good language person. But sir, I'll build the hell out of a trap. You just got, sir, if I'm going to stay, you got to let me
show me one of these traps. All right. Show me.
Okay.
The medic brings over some tongue depressors and a scalpel to whittle with.
Okay. Now, sir, if you just look at this, most of these, I set up most of these tongue depressors like dominoes. When I see the enemy, I flick the first tongue depressor, and they go down one by one. And at the end of it, it knocks the scalpel off. And with enough distance, I'm going to say 10, 15 meters, penetrates the skull of an enemy. Even a mutated person, doesn't even have to be a regular person, it goes right through a mutated skull. It takes me about 7 hours to set it up. It looks really cool. I think it'll be a good propaganda thing for the troops. You may have to play it at like double speed, but it's very deadly, very time consuming. But here, what do you think? Here it is.
Son, please stay.
Okay.
And what I mean when I say please stay, we'll let you do your traps. Look, we don't have that many guys. So if you want to just skip out on the running, look, America needs you. And you're one of the few people that I've met who comes from a long line of people who actually believe in America. So please stay, and you can kind of just write your own curriculum.
It's like an independent study course.
That's correct. An independent studies militia.
Wow. Sir, I can't. First of all, does America still exist? I'm not sure in this.
It doesn't, but we're trying to bring it back.
Oh, good. Yes,
Just as a piece of exposition for you.
my mom always said that the best things about me were inside. And I think America, that distant past you talk about, is inside me. And maybe that combined with the future is the present. And wow. Thank you, sir. Wow.
You're welcome, soldier.
I'm back. I'm back in.
Pull the camera back again. With his resolve strengthened, Chase finished his training and became a militiaman. It was rough going, but his drive and his roll your own curriculum, if not making him the equal of anyone, it allowed him to be a member. 2 years into his service, he was visited by a government agent. Let's have Goldwater up. So Goldwater, you've been asked by another branch of the service to do some scouting rounds, and you were told by the sergeant that there's this kid who isn't making the best scores in the physical, the PT, but he's clever and he's driven. So no matter what they ask him to do, he does it twice as hard as maybe he ought to. So the two of you sit down. You're in a tent alone. Why don't you describe what Goldwater looks like?
I am wearing a rather nice suit considering it's the wasteland. I look like a normal human with slightly pale skin and a forked tongue. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm an Austin 7. Maybe a 6. You must be Private Case.
Yes, sir. Have we met? I usually remember meeting attractive people, even in Austin.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's all relative to where you are, I suppose.
He's in LA 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So no. Yeah. I am a IRS special agent, Delano Goldwater. It's a pleasure to meet you.
How can I help you, agent?
Well, I was asked by another branch of the United States government to come in and ask you a few questions to judge your suitability for further use with the United States.
Wow. I mean, I'm flattered. I know I've worked really hard and hopefully I've shown my abilities and I'm thrilled you would even reach out to me.
Well, I was told to speak to you specifically, so you must be doing something correct.
I am. I had this really inspiring speech from a sergeant that told me about this lone soldier who took on the enemy and did all these things. And I realized that, I think he was talking about a different movie. I found this old spooled film movie called Home Alone, and I realized that was actually my calling. And sir, you should the things, not just what you've seen. I don't want you to just rest on the traps you've seen of the last 2 years. I want you to know there's so many more traps in this mine. Wonderful, vicious things.
Well, I mean, traps, I'll be honest, don't impress me very much. What I need to know is, first of all, what does America mean to you? And I don't mean the Springfield militia. I mean the idea of America.
Well, I sometimes I have trouble remembering things because, training can be traumatic. I want to say it's, been about, generations since America's been here, maybe 150 years, in that ballpark. And so I know it feels like this distant, long gone thing, but I feel like, all the things it stood for, truth, justice, and the American way, which seems redundant because it's also about America in the same sentence. The breakfast tacos, there's all these things I hear about, that this wondrous time where everyone got along and everyone agreed on everything, and there was free Wi-Fi. Like I want to go back to that. I want to go back to that utopia. And I think, somewhere inside all of us, there's a piece of us that wants to put it back together, come back together and love each other, or at least get rid of the people that don't want it with traps.
I think it's probably both. And I would say that the ideal of America is something we should aspire to, but it's never going to be the same, no matter how much we try. It has to be something new. It has to be something different. And if you want to be part of the new America, you have to understand that new is in the title. We have to adapt and change to what the world is now, not what it was in 1776. Do you understand?
I do. I don't know how to read dates in this future, so I assume 1776 is far. I don't quite understand that part, but
it's about 400 years ago. It's
okay. All right.
You seem to have a grasp of general history. If dates escape you, that's fine. You don't.
I have my face got pushed in the mud a lot as a child. My memory's rattled. So, but I believe. What Agent? What are you saying? What is this new America you want me to build?
It's already begun. Private case. New America is being built slowly but surely. Things are coming back online. Things like the Postal Service, the IRS, the roads, electricity, infrastructure. But the piece we're having the hardest time with is the military.
Okay.
And we need people who are dedicated to the cause. People we know that won't turn when things get tough. Are you one of those people?
Yes, sir. I'm all in. There might be better soldiers that you can pick. I've been in the Army 2 years and I'm still only a private, but there's, in terms of loyalty, in terms of dedication, love of countries, all 6 of them, or the one that existed 150 years ago. I'm all of those things, all in. 100.
All right. Well, someone will be in touch with you. And also, the movie I think you were thinking about the American soldier hero who fought, that was Audie Murphy. And the movie was Hell on Earth. You really should try and track that one down.
We'll try and find the old reels in the vaults. There's probably vaults in this world.
There's plenty of them.
Great.
We'll be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you, Agent.
So pull the camera back. 2 months later, Mr. Case, you have traveled by truck to a secret secure facility. The kind of place where when they drive you up to it, you have a bag on your head so you can't see or hear anything. And you pull into some kind of a garage, bump a little bit, pull, you hear the big door outside close. And then one of the other soldiers with you takes the bag off your head. And you see, it's a military style reinforced garage. Come on, let's go. And they lead you over, and there is waiting for you a man in, it's kind of like a clean room outfit combined with almost like a chef's jacket. So it's got a fold over on it. It's kind of a stylish scientist outfit. And he's got a pair of goggles up on his forehead. Chase, I understand that you have volunteered for special service.
Yes, sir, I have. I think it's time to go beyond, above and beyond and below and everywhere in between. I think it's time to take my career and my service to the next level.
He pats you on the back in a very non-military, very familiar way. Excellent. My name is Hasbro. I am a research scientist here. You are going to see some things that will probably surprise you. Everything here is for your eyes only. And obviously, you need to not share this outside of this facility.
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
I understand.
Did you need I have some juice boxes, if you'd like a juice box.
Which might I inquire to the flavors of the juice boxes?
This is a razzleberry raspberry.
That just sounds like raspberry twice, and I like neither. So sorry, I'll pass. Thank you for even offering, but no.
Well, then drink this water because you do have to hydrate. I was just trying to be cute about it.
Okay.
You've been driving for 2 hours, and you're about to undergo a bit of an ordeal. And he walks with you down a corridor, and then knocks on the door. And it's clearly the knock is not to be let in until the people inside know that someone's coming. The door opens, and you realize why. In what is a combination of a laboratory and a surgical theater, you see several assistants, but the thing that stands out the most clearly is a severe-looking young woman who looks like she could just break your arm without thinking twice. But strangely, she's carrying a kind of a fluffy, ill-tempered cat. And everyone in the room seems to be deferring to the cat. Professor, I have her volunteer.
You have the volunteer ready. Okay. Is this volunteer informed of everything that we need?
I will walk him through the process, but he's military. He has consented to whatever we need from him. He was recruited through our connections with the New America movement.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we're working with here then.
So the woman walks the cat closer to you, and it's pretty clear the cat, which is the person who's been talking, is looking you over in a very unsettling, like checking me out like a racehorse before the race kind of way. Hasbro says, this is Professor Pickles. Professor Pickles is one of the feline consultants on this project.
Professor Pickles, it's cool. I've never met a talking cat before, but I'm into it.
This is Lita. Lita is Pickles' assistant and handler.
Lita, way to carry that cat.
Thank you. I've been doing it for many years. It's a very acquired skill, I guess.
So I'm going to need you to sit down on that recline chair with all the straps.
Okay.
And lean back into it, please.
Okay. This is, I don't think Audie Murphy ever did this, but all right. Okay.
I don't know who that is. Is that a friend of yours from Springfield?
No, someone told me movie. I don't know. Sometimes I get my things mixed up. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've come this far. You know, I can't.
That's your shoulder. hopefully we'll clear up that fog for you a little bit. And he turns over to Pickles. So the poor boy is, and as he's doing this, he's, as much as he seems to be compassionate, his actions are not. So he's talking about you and just tightening the straps and strapping you down. He is completely unmutated. We confirmed with a blood draw. History says that he's at least 3 generation pre-human. But and he kind of looks over to you with almost an apologetic look and says, some inbreeding has occurred. As a result, he's physically very weak. He exhausts quickly. He has a bit of a brain fog. He's obsessed with making traps. Apparently that started when he was pretty young, but anything that he gets his hands on, he makes into a thing that can hurt you. We're hoping when we get that fog to clear, we can put that to good use. So, sir, are you comfortable?
Sure, in a military way, yeah. I mean, I'll be fine.
Our goal here, you should know, I mean, you've apparently not encountered an Ultra Cat before. They are from before the fall. They are genetically enhanced. They are actually superior to humans in many, many ways, especially intellectually.
Okay. Is it? I hear. I've never seen any cat. I don't know if this is rude to ask, but does the laser pointer still work even on a psychic cat?
Are you sure there was no one else that?
One of the other techs leans forward and says, "That's really racist, Chase."
And inappropriate to say.
Because yes, it does.
We try not to bring that up.
Sorry, I'm inbred.
And at this point, you start to feel pinpricks, and they're connecting. It's like getting a series of bags connected all at once, like not IV bags. So there's all kinds of lines going out to these machines. So we're going to inject you with a compound. And this compound was in part formulated by Professor Pickles here, which is why they're here to witness this experiment. Once we have it at least 80% tissue saturation, which will take about 20 minutes, your heart will just pump it through your system and it will penetrate. Once that's happened, you see those big, they look like lamps all around. We're going to douse you with radiation. And our hope is the compound will revitalize you. And this should make you stronger. It should clear that fog up for you. A lot of the things that you've been suffering most of your life should go away.
Just a quick technical question. How many trials have you done before this? Like 100, 200?
3.
300.
2 of the other subjects died. The other survived and was, in fact, significantly strengthened, but was driven mad and terribly mutilated.
Real high risk, high reward situation. Minimal reward. But
Professor, you're convinced that we've locked in the formulation, yes?
Enough for another try, yes. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine this time.
And am I setting the transducer to H or 8?
Oh gosh. Was it 8? I'm sure it was 8. You set it to 8.
do you have like a family you want us to give anything to? Like, do you have any?
Oh, just flip the switch.
Okay.
No, I had a mom that she walked into one of my traps and
Oh,
That
One of
sounds
the
about right.
Does a blood draw. Not quite yet. Got about 5 more minutes until we got tissue saturation. And Hasbro asked Lita to basically power up the generators for the radiation.
she'll go ahead and do it. She'll be like, you know, it's gonna be fine.
be fine. You'll be fine. Just lie back. Think of the
Traps.
traps and patriotism. That's stuff you like. Think about those things. Think about all the good things you'll do with traps and patriotism.
Can I get some of that juice? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Hasbro puts the little straw in your mouth. All right, well, think of something that sustains you. So what do you think about?
I think about the America that can be, that I've dreamed of, and how I'm the piece, I'm the cog, I am the tip of the spear. And I have to believe that this is all worth it in the end, inbred or not. This has to be worth something. I'm ready.
Hasbro holds up a clipboard and puts a pen in your hand, even though it's strapped down. We're going to need one last signature of consent before you throw that switch.
Well, the paper is too far. What does the fine print say?
You understand that this may be a fatal process and that you consent to it anyway.
Okay. All right, fine. All right. Yeah. I mean, that's service to country, or service to 6 organizations, or a future country, right? That's the meaning of sacrifice. I'll do what the cat says.
Science is a road, soldier. And even if this doesn't have the outcome we want, it is a step to a glorious conclusion. But that said, everybody get behind a shield. And all the people in the room kind of scatter and get behind plexiglass and radiation shielding. Everyone clear? Everyone, I mean, mostly everyone safe? All right, ready? And he pulls the switch. It does the super sci-fi light dimming as the power gathers up and the capacitors assemble a charge greater than the generators could manage on their own. And then they go into the radiation generators pointed right at you. And you are bathed in radiation for about 3 minutes. It is a lot of screaming. One of the things that would have happened is they would have put the plastic thing in your mouth. A lot of biting down, and at some point through the plastic. Towards the end, the sparking, and the room fills with steam and smoke, and they start to go out. They kill the power. Fans start to pull the mist out of the room. And Hasbro gestures to Lita to bring Pickles in.
Smells really bad. She's gonna grab Pickles and walk her in.
He pulls the hospital sheet aside, and Chase is bigger. His muscles have grown substantially in size and tone. You could swear he's taller. Hasbro turns stunned and aghast to the professor and says, You've succeeded.
It appears we've finally done it. I guess it was supposed to be set to 8 instead of H last time. Well, I mean, that's what trials are for.
Common mistake. Anybody could have made it.
An
honestly.
H and an 8 looks very similar anyway.
Extremely similar.
It's very. How is how's the boy doing?
How are you?
He walks up. So the cloud does in fact part. So there has been a little thinking through a fog that has gone away. But because of what you were thinking when all of this hit, you were very focused on all of that. And you feel strong.
Was he wearing that hat when he went in there, or did that just?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he got it. I must have put it on the stand.
That's amazing.
How I'm not a part of the process.
I think he just had it in his back pocket, ready to go.
Can you write down that he had a hat? We didn't plan for the hat. That might have offset
Sergeant Case, are you all right?
Oh man, I've never felt better. You know, the only reason I was even able to reach this hat that was in my back pocket, good call, Dr. Cat Holder, was that I was able to snap my strap with these new arms. I don't even know how freaking strong I am. Oh man. Oh, I'm ready to rock.
You honestly, you don't look like a man. You look like a tank. And then we will strategically cut back because he has spoken the new nickname of Sergeant Case.
Wow.
2 years later, Tank is now a captain in the new American Army. You haven't seen much action, but they made you an impressive uniform and given you a flag to carry. Generally, they ride you around in a Jeep and you put on a little show of strength, talk about how you used to be weak and how now you're strong, and it's because of science in America, and they're using you to recruit new soldiers. Finally, you're taken to see General Bull Sears. Bull Sears is literally a bulldog man. He is what they call a beastie. So it's up to you and how you're going to portray Tank. Some of the folks where you grew up are, we're not going to repaint it. They're kind of racist, right? They live in a place that looks down on, the game in general calls what your species is pre-gen. Characters in the setting sometimes call them pure. We took it out of the way we write it in the book because that's a real tricky word. And I think some of the people back home use it. So I'm not sure how much of Tank that is, but you're escorted into the room, and a general in the Army is literally, he's a general and he's got a bulldog face. Come in, Captain.
Sir.
I understand you put on a hell of a good show.
Well, there ain't no business like show business, General, and I aim to please.
He pulls out a sheaf of paper. So after every one of those shows, you submit one of these, a request to stop doing them and put into service and put into action. So you must not like them all that much.
I never said I liked it, sir. I said I'm here to do a job. You put me on a mission and I'll do it. And I'm just trying to show you how good I'll do if you put me into the real deal. You let me go into the field with this body and the traps in this mind, I'll win any goddamn war you want, sir.
Oh, all right. Tell you what, let's give you an assignment. How about I send you to undermine and dislodge a warlord? It's a proud American tradition. You want to undermine a government, son?
Sounds sexy, sir. What's the gig?
So there is a right bastard working Texan, what used to be Texas back in the day. Can you believe it? Calls himself Curse. Real son of a bitch. He and his raiders have been taking over settlement after settlement. He works them too hard, takes too much. But you know how that goes. And he's gaining far too much ground. I can send you in there to our allies at a place called Bastion. We can afford 2 Jeeps, 2 armored vehicles, and I can put 24 soldiers under your command. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Are these locally sourced, or are we working with our own forces here, sir?
It's our men. They got some militia there. They got some of their own forces. These are our boys. I'll make sure at least half are people you've worked with.
Excellent. I hope there's more people like me who used to be a private, got promoted to captain without going to college, which is technically impossible, but shows a lot of initiative.
At this point, the boys are calling you Captain New America. No one that's followed you in the experiment has survived. At this point, you're unique.
Sir, will the cat be joining us?
I understand the cat is involved with these good people in Bastion. You should meet the professor again soon.
Excellent. The cat's my favorite.
I don't know if I've ever heard anything positive come out of that. No, never heard Pickles say anything positive ever.
Let me show you 2 things that came from that cat. Here they are. That's positive. That's progress.
So you call them positive and progress, do you?
That's right. It's only a matter of which one strikes first, sir. Am I right?
And he laughs and he passes you a cigar. Because he's totally the bulldog in the poker playing dog picture with the thing going as well. And a matching beret to yours with the New America logo on it. All right. I'm going to muster everyone. It take me about 2 days to get everybody into position. We'll get you out of here day 3 in the morning. So go ahead and take a little R&R. Stretch those mighty tree trunk legs of yours, and we'll get you on the road and see what all of that can do.
Thank you, sir. I won't let you down. This is, you already know, I've been waiting for this my whole life. Inbred, super soldier, every hour of it. I'm ready.
I'll requisition a big ass gun for you.
Perfect, sir. My favorite.
Graduation present. All right, off you go. All right, so back to the group, and here we are. So we're going to go to Lita and Pickles. You returned to the feline council, and you have been involved in endless meetings. If there's one thing, so picture like upper management meetings run by cats, right? Because cats are not like the most urgent creatures on the face of the earth. So it's a little like being in an Entmoot. So you got like a circle of cats all trying to get business done, but occasionally just kind of falling asleep in their hover chairs. And their handlers, there's probably a handler lounge where all of you can, free of, because all of you are loyal, so none of you wants to insult them. But there is a fair amount of necessary, oh my dear God, they did 2 things today. And one was start the meeting.
It's like the Citadel of Rick and Morty's.
Except with a lot more like,
naps, breaks between, yeah.
So one thing to go over in case anyone's listening or watching that is not aware, that we had a whole plot arc involving the fact that the Ultra Cat Consul, which lives in a city floating in the sky, has been trying to restart society. They are using their combined knowledge to try to seed a new human society because they were created by mankind. They have immense affection for humans, but also a fair amount of disdain because the humans created something smarter than the humans are. And they figure they're the ones to help them back, if anyone. So they tried to restart society in a place called the World Dome, which was, they chose it because it was populated by scientists. So it was a very science-forward, hopefully enlightened, able to see the reason kind of people. The problem was they were more tech fetishists than enlightened people. So it went kind of bad. Then they tried to back a group of adventurers, which was our lovely player characters. And they tried to find a new place to start a new society, a new settlement. And they were unable to find anything that worked. All kinds of, a whole series of terrible missteps, misfortunes, almost none of them their fault, just didn't really work out. So you just had your final meeting on Project Rebirth. They have decided not to reinvest in Texon. They believe that Texon is too unstable, and they're going to go to one of the other 5 areas in what they're going to stay in the old US, but they're going to move away from Texon. So you have been fighting partially because of your, I think in Lita's case, the connection to people that frustrate her, but for some reason they're her friends, right? Like you have sort of a sister in D because of the neuro connections, So the 2 of you were in the awkward position of like fighting for these people, even though the fighting was like, yeah, I know they're crazy and they don't have
inept.
Look, they're not the greatest, but
yes, they do get people try to murder them every single place they go, but
they're not the greatest at making friends or the smartest or the best at what they do. Or
that's are looking over at you like, and the rest.
Yeah.
They're genuinely nice. Some
They're
of them.
trying. They
There's
really
a couple of them I
try.
like, and I don't like many people. And that says something.
So
I
you're
mean-
outside the council chamber after the decision's been made. One of the doors opens, and they're Star Trek doors with the hiss. And one of the council members, Master Whiskers, follows out. Whiskers, caretaker, wears a hood, and no one's ever seen their face. You're not even sure what gender, what's going on there. Just a person in a suit with a hood carrying a cat. Whiskers, though. Pickles, Whiskers is an ally of yours at council. Pickles, I'm sorry. I had to vote no.
Did you have to vote no? You could have voted yes.
Well, you know what put me over the line? Jesus. I bet we can find a place to start a new society that doesn't have Jesus in it.
Here? Like here? Like you're talking in the greater, the whole thing?
Your people put him on the map, and it says on the map, Jesus, yes, actually Jesus, stay away.
Like
We can
nuclear
just-
Jesus.
Wasn't it your murder monkey that made this note?
Is that what we call them?
That's not really, I don't think that that's particularly appropriate, but it was.
I'm sorry, Pickles. I know you have different levels of effect. If it's got two legs, I have trouble telling them apart.
I understand there sometimes things look similar to other things, and
Like me and yeah.
yeah,
I don't actually know your name.
I'm not entirely.
Cloak person. Oh.
I will, just to put a pin in the whole it was actually Jesus thing. It was actually Jesus, and it wasn't just, if you're trying to just trust the humans with this, then it was Jesus. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds.
Lita, did Jesus break your mistress, master?
No, I think that Professor, it was just it's always alarming when you see a human deity represented in the proverbial flesh. But I think the important thing about actual Jesus, who I didn't see, but I believe everyone else that actual Jesus was there. I was distracted by the flesh falling off of people, so I missed Jesus.
That also did happen. Yes, the whole town.
The thing about actual Jesus is that, they're not trying to build. I think the key to your point is we're not trying to build society around actual Jesus. In fact, we're like, let's just leave actual Jesus to their own devices.
Actual Jesus didn't want anybody to have. There was no quite the charmer. The nice person.
Pickles, gather yourself. You're allowing your human to do a lot of your talking. Collect up your cards. Get sorted. Look, if what Lita here is saying is true, and it's an obstacle that can be avoided, if it's just something unfortunate in the area that won't have an effect on the society that we seed. You have backed me on more than one vote over the years, and you're right. You have my vote coming. I'll tell you what, if you can change this curse situation quickly, take that out of the calculus. If Texan is free again, so that we can seed without having to worry about a murdering warlord, I think we can just put some beacons around the Jesus and just move past.
We can do this. That's easy. Simply done. Consider it already finished.
Do you need a flitter to get down to Bastion to talk to your people?
Oh, that would actually be lovely. Could we get that sorted out by in some supplies maybe for just to soften the blow of for the humans? I know that they're going to be a little temperamental about the whole war with the cursed and everything. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but like something nice for them. A little treat for the humans. They'll like that. They'll definitely fight harder because of them.
The quartermasters owe me a favor, but I can get you the flitter quickly. Additional equipment, especially advanced weapons, will take longer and require me to spend more of my currency.
Is there anything I could do to expedite the situation? I mean, you do want this curse situation taken care of, correct?
I'll do what I can. So I can then depend on your vote the next time I need it, right?
Absolutely. You won't even need to ask me for it. It'll already be yours.
Meow. All right.
Meow.
And they escort you down the hall. And meanwhile, let's go back to Nevada and Goldwater. You are in Bastion, and most of your allies have left because they are going to the other settlements, your other allies. You, though, are able to reach out to the key settlements with your newly functional phones.
Yeah, we did it.
Because of your actions last episode. And they're more like the phones from the battle days, right? Where you had to have the trunk operators. So you literally have to have a receiver, and the receiver is also a decoder. So it's not like you can it's not flip phone time, but you have them installed in all the places, and kind of like the old telegraph offices, you'll need someone in those cities at those receivers to receive calls. But you've set that up, but that means you can coordinate between all the settlements you control. So you've been doing that. So where Grendel's forces are, there's a couple of other groups that you've put together, and you can organize them and motivate. You can get them moving whenever you need to. What are the priorities of these two people in Bastion for the time being?
Nevada and Goldwater?
Yes.
I'm going to from a tactical point of view, a strategic point of view, I'm going to defer to Goldwater on this. I have some thoughts about the camp, but I want Goldwater's input on what he thinks we ought to do strategically.
Well, no, I mean, out of character, I feel like we're not at the point where we can start being like, oh, we'll amass our forces here and we'll start shoring up this here.
We'll get to that later. Is there any immediate stuff like clean up my room, check with the sanctum, go kill a guy?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I wanted to see if I can start recruiting people to be contractors for the IRS, who then may at some point be able to become agents.
Give me a persuasion against a 5, and let's see if you just randomly find some erstwhile young man with an interest in the country and accounting. A Venn diagram that doesn't always intersect.
Nope.
So you've had a couple of meetings, and you've had these almost like TED Talks, and here's what you're signing up for. And gradually, one by one, the people kind of walk out of the meeting.
Right.
Anything that Nevada's up to?
So I think I need to go. I need to go down to the inner sanctum to kind of Dr. Strange it up a little bit and commune with the community. Haha.
So you want to also physically make it more your space?
Yes.
So with that, I know
less
where
of Gordon's and more of mine.
so old school Nevada, I don't know how much you've changed. It would include like more Frazetta posters. Like, what's his current vibe?
So, okay. So here's Nevada's vibe. He's more confident. He's still of questionable taste. And okay, so so you said Frazetta. So
Yeah.
he realizes that these kind of like that kind of sword and sandal beefcake cheesecake kind of thongs and big butts and muscles is a little not classy.
You've evolved past 17. Good.
However, with his increased confidence, classy is now more of a who is the artist who made who's sort of the classic 80s like super flat, the guy who did the Rio Duran
Nagel?
Yeah, Nagel. He's moved into kind of a Nagel American Psycho kind of phase. So he's trying to be less of a dirtbag and more of an 80s era shark, ever so slightly. So, because that's classy. See, that's
right.
That's high sophistication, and I'm guessing that's like those are the classics, man.
Yeah. That shortbread, that's imported.
Yes,
yeah, for sure. Okay.
So that's the vibe he's going for in the inner sanctum. Dr. Strange meets what's his face, Nagel.
So you're meditating and basically communing with Bastion,
Mm-hmm.
which means Goldwater is up top enjoying a tasty churro when the flitter lands. So these ornithopters, the cats use them. You've seen two of them before. And it lands near Bastion. So for Lita and Pickles, Bastion has got a wall around it now. It is bigger. So it used to all be inside the truck stop, but it's now. Do you have, Colt, any of those images that we can share? Yeah. Now, when you get a chance, we'll keep going. But you land outside the wall. A couple of the Knights of Torg come out. So the Knights of Torg are literally people that were, I don't remember which episodes you were in. Did you, I forget her name, was it Millie? Torg's fangirl. She eventually recruited a group of people that all commemorate and revere Torg, and they wear braids like Torg's, and they've become a local defense group. They're basically Bastion's militia. So they ride around on defense perimeter on motorcycles. So very colorful. So they've got the big braids flowing out behind, and they will come out to meet you. And lands, comes out, door comes down. Yeah, so you can go ahead and show the map so they see what they're coming down into. Good luck with that. If you could throw that into chat. Oh, that's
I can see it. Looks cool.
So it's obviously bigger. Like the part that you were for the longest time was just that nugget in the middle, and it's grown out to that whole area. Like they very recently had defense of this area, where you don't know that coming down. So you come down. What you would know is you would see there are some repairs being done, and there's some scorches which indicate there's been recent heavy weapons fire, like maybe rockets landed. There are charred areas of the wall, so stuff has gone on. You don't see Rip. As you get out, one of the Knights of Torgus. This is a person you don't necessarily know who they are, but they're wearing junk mail, and they've got it's very clearly meant to simulate Torgus braid. Oh, hello. Are you expected?
We should be. We're looking for Navad and Goldwater.
Oh, yes. Come on. I'm Murrow, and I am one of the Knights of Torg. We defend Bastion. Come on, I'll take you in the gate. You are the professor. And he speaks to Lita, unfortunately.
No, that's not. No, actually, this is the professor. I'm
forgive me.
Lita. It happens an unnecessarily common amount of times.
We should get name tags.
Yeah, I can wear a name tag that says not the professor.
That would probably help a lot, actually.
Yeah, that seems like something I should do. I might do that. Yeah.
The crew I run with, if it's something like a professor, we just assume it's the woman.
That's
admirable.
You can keep doing that. That sounds right.
And the Knights of Torg are almost all female, not all, but mostly. So clearly they have that kind of a leaning. So their assumption that you were in charge makes a little more sense.
Oh, it's nicer.
That's definitely, that's appreciated at least. That's that. We should still do the name tag.
I should still get a name tag.
We should do the name tag. Yeah.
I will do that. Yeah.
Is a collar insulting, Professor?
Oh, no collars. We don't.
So you would attach it to the fur?
I'll wear the name tag.
Lita will have the name tag.
The name tag would say the cat is the professor.
No. It's just like not the professor. That's
not the professor.
It's very simple.
I'm with the professor.
Yeah, it's like
maybe
it may be a shirt that says I'm with the professor, and then just points, to me.
But your suit is so nice.
The suit is very nice. Maybe a hat.
I could get
is coming out from the little compound, and you see it's Lita and the professor have returned. They've been gone for something like 4 months since the disastrous last attempt to get a new settlement, which I believe the last one was the one that ended with the angel fire and the
yes, I was there for that. Yep.
So I assume you meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Meet
Goldwater.
Professor.
Nice to see you again. This is nice. This is nice. You've done a great job around here.
They've been working hard. It's definitely much safer and much more of a community than when we first came to this gas station.
It seems that everything seems to be as organized as possible around here. I'm actually quite impressed.
We just finished rebuilding. We fought off an attack from Curse's forces.
I'm glad you mentioned Curse.
You are?
Well,
well,
it's fortuitous that you mentioned Curse.
It behooves us to continue the conversation about Curse. Is
germane to the conversation.
Yes.
It's important to get to that point probably quicker rather than later.
You actually felt them while you were meditating on Bastion. You felt the flitter land. Navad joins you, but he's wearing the outfit that was designed for him by the settings only known professional fashion designer. And considering you're trying to get a glow up to your look and vibe, I think you'd be wearing the new outfit, which will be up to Kdin to describe.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Not to put Kdin on the spot.
Absolutely to put them on.
Oh yes,
please, thank you. So I have to change my entire thought process here. Going from Pickles to Lambda, it's just like, okay, all right. As Lambda would describe Navad's new outfit. It would be high fantasy cyberpunk chic.
Ooh.
Somewhere between Gandalf and and Vash the Stampede from Trigun. A pseudo pleather style jacket, but in a more muted color with the accents of bright reds and blacks. So we have this vaguely dark tan jacket with lots of little accents of black and red, and a hat that you would probably assume Gandalf would have worn if he was born in the late 70s. So it is still very much a wizard hat, but smaller and made of translucent plastic.
A wizard chapeau.
Yes, it's
So Shannon, as you walk up to your group wearing this, what would be the background music playing?
Oh, I mean, I think we've got to, oh my God. I think we have to stay with the, Duran Duran theme. And I think we have to go with like a completely ridiculous Duran Duran song, which is Union of the Snake.
Love it. So you all see,
I'm really dating myself here. I'm like, Hannah's like, what?
I'm like, oh, I don't know. I
so
was born in the 90s.
I know, right? So anyway.
every time I watch the
Colt's like in the chat going, who is Duran Duran?
So I think it ends up looking like, when you do like the 80s, the pretty girl that doesn't know she's pretty coming down the stairs and everybody looks over and it gets quiet. I think all eyes are on Navad.
Oh my God.
You see that Lita and Pickles have returned.
what the hell happened to you?
Is Navad walking in slow-mo, or is that just a feature of the outfit?
What in the world is he wearing?
Is that hat transparent?
I can hear what you're saying.
Oh, sorry.
I'm glad. What the hell are you wearing?
I went on a mission with Lambda. I don't know if you've met her.
I haven't.
She's pretty intense, and we ransacked a warehouse, and she didn't like the way I looked, so she gave me this
changed how you looked?
Yeah, she kind of dressed me up a little. And so
one of the Knights of Torg steps forward and says, Navad, I think they're a they them, dude.
Oh, Lambda?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a Shannon in-game error.
I can totally see Navad making this same mistake though.
Okay, true. Yes. Yes. Sorry. They are fantastic. Anyway, look, I'm connected to the settlement now, and I feel like I need to dress accordingly for the job that I want, not the job that I have. Or
what job do you want that wears this outfit? Are you a magician? Are you a performer?
Are you some sort of like, are you trying to be like a magical cowboy? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and let the abuse of Navad happen in montage. Like we just, the sound pulls away.
No matter what he does, it's always,
Mr. Tribe, I need the song that was, I think it was 2016, which was the big fuck yeah America country western song that was everywhere for a little while.
That's not my bailiwick.
Okay, we'll go instead with Rise of the Valkyries, Flight of the Valkyries.
Okay.
And you look down the road and you see 4 vehicles with American flags on little poles fluttering, and they are new American flags, which we will at some point design and post. Hey, kid, if you want to design a New American flag, feel free to post it and send it to 819 somehow. And
Yeah.
we'll figure out what's best.
We'll figure it out.
And yeah, it looks like a couple dozen soldiers. And they're approaching Bastion.
I'll go out to meet them.
Were you expecting company or?
So,
No.
standing on the passenger seat of one of the Jeeps is a man that looks to have been sculpted from resolve and who is muscles and thews and guns and America made flesh. And he's literally holding the banner that he carries with him that he took to his performances for years. And that's fluttering in the back. And you know who that is because since you met him in the very beginning, you have heard, so only Goldwater knows that is Tank. And you recognize, you probably never connected that it is the boy that you recommended years ago. So you know about the legend of Tank, the Captain New America, but you didn't connect that it was the person that you put up for it, and now you know.
Case, you're Captain New America.
It's actually Tank now, Goldwater. That's what the men call me. That's what inspires them. But it's good to see you. It's been a minute.
It's been a couple of years. I'll reach out my hand and shake his massive, meaty, slabby palm.
What are you doing here? This is no one briefed me you were going to be on this mission.
I didn't know there was a mission. This is Bastion. I'm assuming you have a plan for us.
Well, I've got a plan for Curse. I'll tell you that much.
Lieutenant Scott gets out of the Jeep. Your driver, your friend, sometimes with benefits, lousy bombshell, ass kicker of the First Order. The way she whispers Tank to you is second to none. There we got 2 Jeeps, 2 armored vehicles, 24 men, and 1 tank.
So you're here. This is the support that I asked for. This is the reinforcements that I asked for.
You're here by presidential order, Agent.
This is great news. Who's in charge?
Everyone.
That's me by default. I'm a captain. She's only a lieutenant. Therefore, vis-a-vis ergo, it's me, Goldwater.
Congratulations on your promotion. I'm sure it was well deserved.
It was, although not quite legal without a college degree. I want to stress that.
I believe you can still become a commissioned officer by passing the commissioned officer's test, which I hope you did.
I did, probably in New America. There's a lot of new standards. Things are changing. I want to be a part of that change, and that's why I'm here to kick ass with you. It'd be exciting to work alongside you finally, sir.
Wow.
That's the outline for our bio break.
Okay.
It will take 5 minutes, and I'm going to send you, sir, Josh, a message. So the man called Tank has arrived at Bastion in the company of 2 Jeeps, 2 armored vehicles, and 24 soldiers. He is met by the current and resident lords and lady of Bastion, and they have gone inside and are meeting in the food court. Tank is presented with the obligatory ceremonial churros. They have a very rare thing in the wasted world. They have a functional churro machine. So they were all sitting together and may discuss the matters of the day.
Well, it's very nice to see reinforcements from the new American government.
It's very nice to see churros for the reinforcements of our government. I say I've only ever heard tell of these things, and A little sweet for my taste. I'm a man of grit, but not bad.
It's a delicacy. You've already met blah 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 NPCs nobody cares about. I'd like to introduce.
Walter droops his head a little bit and walks off camera.
Get out of here. This is Lord Navad.
Hello, I'm Lord Navad of Bastion.
Magician.
I've heard good things, sir. It'll be a pleasure to work with you on this mission.
Oh, you've heard good things? People normally give me a hard time, but thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that somebody's saying good things about me somewhere.
Yeah, I might have misread the briefing. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure they said good things about you. Nevad, I thought it was Nevada. That's my bad. Nevad works.
Thank you. I'd like to think so.
And from what I understand, you already know Professor Pickles and Lita.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
It's good to see that the results have been so positive over a long duration of time. No side effects.
Nothing to note. Have you noticed anything in a change of temperament? Have you grown? You seem to be about the same size, but has anything grown larger, gotten smaller? I don't know, X-ray vision, something else aside from the physical largeness of it all?
This is purely scientific, everyone, just in case you were wondering. This is all scientific.
Oh, you want to know what's gotten larger?
Nah,
Only the most important muscle in my body.
your heart?
My heart, that's right.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, thank God.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh, for
God.
the love of-
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I was really scared that I was going to go somewhere else.
At least less crass than last time.
Who's the nurse from Powerpuff Girls? I picture her looking like the lieutenant looks like her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Little skirt at the bottom.
Mhm.
So that interaction, she was blushing the entire time.
Yeah, I'm just so glad that there are no side effects. That's just another encouragement for your findings, Professor. I think that's a great follow-up on the study that
I
very
think
effective.
that's and you're sure nothing else besides the physical largeness? Are you sure there's nothing else that you can?
What were you hoping for, Professor? It seems like
Well, I'm just
wanted some sort of power that did not.
well, Pickles shoots a glance to Goldwater and then looks back to Lita. Bring me closer to Goldwater.
Oh, okay. She will quietly, immediately just go over to Goldwater and bring her closer.
Pickles gets real close to Goldwater's ears. I'm not actually certain how he's physically standing right now. This wasn't supposed to work. This was a long shot. I don't know what went into this that made this work. I tried running numbers. I'm pretty sure he should be dead.
He keeps mentioning how he's inbred, perhaps some sort of genetic anomaly.
I really was hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but
because that's not easy to replicate.
Why would we?
We wouldn't want to
who would
replicate
intentionally? That. What group of people would intentionally? I'm not.
Anyway,
Tank. Yes. What a physical specimen.
I can hear you over there. Let me answer this for you, Kat. Here's the deal.
Whoa.
When my mom was when I was young, my mom found what I believe was the only source of protein in the country, and she dug it up, protein ore. And I've been using that on what I would call a progressive loading regime. That's 3 days of weights a week and 3 days of cardio. Now, when I first came out of the machine, not so strong, but after a few years and my secret elusive protein supply, I have overcome any side effects that you might have thought I've had. So I'm feeling pretty damn good.
Where did he get so much protein? I'm not going to ask that question. It's a good thing that you're here. I'm actually happy that you're here. We're trying to decide how to go about handling this curse situation, and you might actually have given us the at least the armaments we need to make some headway with this.
I believe so, and I got a couple plans I'd like to roll out for you and talk to you
Oh,
about.
he's got plans.
Multiple
couple.
I'm surprised we have one.
a
Continue,
variety
please.
options. I love
First of all,
options.
I want to talk about, this has nothing to do with the mission, but I couldn't help but notice I was looking at the Bastion map and I noticed there was a dog park and not a cat park. What's up with that?
That's a good question.
Cats
What is up
do
with that
cats
Goldwater?
do what they want. Dogs need supervision.
I mean, that's technically true, but it would be nice to have like a little spot. I mean,
Okay.
Like a
We can-
catio, like an
I-
enclosed area.
just like a place to hang out that's safe away. I mean, if the
Yeah.
dogs have an area, there should be like a place that's safe for the cat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Even
you see
for
the
just
dog.
recreation.
I mean,
Like a little sand cove with some water and some one of those
Scratching
things you
posts like
Yeah.
scattered throughout. I mean, you could have.
climb. That seems like a massive tactical oversight.
Mm,
Well,
Yeah.
we'll remedy that.
Okay,
wow.
tell your map drawer. Get it.
already
Making changes
liking-
and yeah.
I want that to be the contingent on the success of this mission or not. That needs to happen either way. Can we get that agreed? If I pull this off for you guys, I want that goddamn cat park.
Yes.
That's an easy.
Okay,
That was easy.
Yeah.
Good.
That's it. Okay.
at
Yeah.
least there was somebody loyal here.
I don't forget. You gave me this. I don't forget. This could be a scratch post for you. Just picture it. Not
Did-
my actual arm.
Did do that. Did intentionally do that
Yeah, it was
with
the-
no side effects, and everything ended up great.
Yep.
All right, let's talk plans. Let's talk brass tacks, guys. All right, look, the way I see it, there's three ways we can go about this. All right, we can either part one, and we can do this as a group vote. We can do this however you want. I can walk through all three, and then we can talk about it. Part one, we divide our resources and defend all settlements as best we can, build a small strike force, and attack as vulnerabilities present itself with curse. Divide and conquer. Napoleon, he ended up not winning in the end, but I think if we stop before he lost,
But,
it looks like a win.
mhm.
So that's
Wow.
one.
Not exactly a bad idea.
Oh my. Wow.
There it is.
Your
See,
map
look at
guy
that.
is really quick, Gold.
What?
I mean,
The efficiency. The absolute efficiency. I wonder, where did they get the green crayons?
I don't know. That's
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about, but it sounds fun.
That. And what's the second option?
Let's talk about the second option. Thanks, Goldwater. Thanks for teeing me up. Here comes the hit. Revolution, I say. We weigh distribution based on the value of each settlement and the likelihood of it being attacked. Use the rest to free occupied settlements and add their forces to our own. That's a lot of words. Hopefully you understood it.
I did.
That Goldwater, not to speak out of turn or out of character, but those are both actually good ideas.
Yeah. What about, you said there was a third?
There is a third. Here we go. Number
God.
3, third time's a charm. The Blitz. We gather all our forces, leaving only the token defenses here at Bastion. Go immediately for Curse headquarters. We hit hard, hit fast, end it. Cobra Kai.
Wow. I mean, wow. That's just, I mean, you got a little bit of everything for everybody. Who could be, how do we choose is really what it comes down to.
The GM wants to check with the group to make sure. I'm pretty sure that's more decisiveness than we've had in a year of gameplay, right?
Entirely.
Yeah. It's also just asking a lot to be like, hey, the taxman who shoots people real good, come up with a battle plan.
To be fair, most of our battle plans have been created 2 minutes before the battle.
If that,
I
yeah.
mean, I think we've done a pretty damn good job.
The fact that we're alive is really the miracle here.
Exactly.
Quite impressive.
I did all right with our battle map a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Not great.
Navad got upgrades. I mean,
Everything and a new outfit.
Yeah. Well, it's all a matter of what are we willing to lose to end this.
I would hopefully like to lean as away from as many casualties as possible. I don't think leaving this place mostly defenseless is the way to go here.
It'd only work if we had enough intel to make a massive strike worth it. My inclination is to go with version 1, the strike force consisting of our team heading right for Curse and hoping that finishing Curse will cause a fracture of his forces and no one would step in and fill the vacuum. Knowing how Curse's people, his underlings, behave, I think their egos would prevent them from working under a new leader.
I think so too. And they're already periodically squabbling with one another and ready to leave.
Part of this will be abstracted because obviously the characters, the players have different skill sets, but there's a montage of like maps on tables and conversation. So the first option that was provided involves the priority being defending the settlements, and then the strike force picking off vulnerable enemy assets.
Oh, okay.
Does not involve attacking the curse.
Curse directly, right.
Gradual defensive strategy. So of the three, and Tank can fill you in on all of this. The first strategy will be the longest. It's the uphill. We'll take the beach, yard by yard by yard. The second one is kind of the more moderate approach, which is not maximum defense, have more forces free, and then make the priority freeing other settlements. That's the difference. And that'll get to a point where you've got enough forces to do something bigger. And the third one is to say, especially because of the phones, the communication you now have, call everyone in and say, you know what he's probably not expecting? Everything now. Go, and go for the big win. You do have enough intel to know where he is. So you have, if you want to go that route, it is a doable thing. They all have different risks, obviously.
Well, now that I understand the first plan better, I don't think the first.
Sometimes the problem is with the listener, not the explainer.
True. I think the first plan is too cautious. It allows Curse to keep amassing forces and spreading either into our territory or north or south or west, and press ganging more people into his forces or to support his forces. Option 3 is too risky. We don't have the coordination right now, even with the phones, to put together something like this. I think 2 is where we have to go. It allows us to do something that Curse hasn't seen anybody do yet. We will be on offense. We will be attacking, making, attacking the supply chain, taking out defensive posts, putting some fear into them while still amassing more forces on our side for an eventual out and out war.
What are these local forces like? Like, say we take the time to do plan 2 and we free these occupied settlements and bring them to our own. Like how, let me just throw out a random question off the top of my head. How good are these people with setting traps?
At this point, 4 of his men come in with big duffel bags. Your traps, sir. And they put them on the table next to you.
Lita looks at Pickles and is like, some things never change.
Yeah, it seems like that kind of got imprinted on the
Yep, that was never
lad.
going away.
That's
Yep.
just, well, maybe he got better at them.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Well, we met a group to the south that was fairly agrarian that used traps, but it was mostly for hunting, not for defense. Are you hoping that there would be more trap oriented?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, building traps to ensnare humans is a talent, not a skill, right? You need a baseline talent. It's like being a Hollywood director. So I hear from 150 years ago. There's got to be a baseline of talent. You can teach a man to fish, but you can't teach him how to trap a human and bleed him out.
That's fair.
So, I mean,
An acquired taste.
Yeah, I think we need to possibly audition these agrarians, and see who's got the knack for it, and then
trying to recruit some sort of special trap force.
Well, yes, but they're for us. They're not for me. It's not a private chase thing. Don't make this about chase. This is good for all of us. I think it's important to know who's good at what they do and who's not.
We have different specialties from different areas. As
Right.
we explore the waste and go across more settlements, we find people with different skill sets. I just haven't run into the trap town.
Yet. I mean, we have been in many places here in Texan, and no cultures are trap centered cultures.
It's
Trappers.
a very
We just call them
unique
trappers.
set of
Trappers.
skills. It's a very unique set of skills.
Right. Like
We have
being
seen
a
people use
Hollywood
traps.
director from 150 years ago.
I mean, we use them to hunt, but not this, whatever this is, these bags.
At this point,
Look, and this is when Case leans into the cat and points at the bags and goes, "That was a power move." That's why I brought those bags in. That's a power move.
something in one of the bags shifts and goes click like a mousetrap or something.
Oh God.
The bag kind of shifts.
Should we be worried about that?
Is
Hank, what's in the bag?
can you show us
what's in
some,
the bag?
let's see some of the traps.
I think that's what Tank wants. Tank, please show us.
Okay, we're gonna do this improv style. I want to start with Shannon. What is the first trap out of the bag, please?
Okay, so the first bag out of the trap is in fact a giant mouse trap. It's like a door, like a slab door, is the base. And the snapping mechanism is like, I mean, it's like rebar. It would like break your spine if you were to be caught in this thing. It's not, I mean, it's the size of a door, so it's not subtle. You would see it like from a good 100 yards away. But it's
what Josh intended. I love the idea that Captain New America can snap a guy over his shoulder, but he never gives up the obsession with Kdin, what's the second thing out of the bag?
The second thing out of the bag is a second bag full of leaves that has a shovel tied to it. And there is a big sticker on it, and there's some writing on it that says instant pitfall.
Hannah, what is the third thing out of the bag stack?
It is it's actually just a part of a trap. It's a part that would be used in compiling a larger trap, which is a significant semi-camouflage container of radiated scorpion type creatures that would be dropped on someone if placed in part of the trap. So it is the supply of the violence that would come from a trap.
And Barrett, what is the next thing out of the bags?
It is a landmine that has a bunch of like wires trailing off of it that lead to packs of dynamite.
Oh, wow.
And the gimmick is that the landmine isn't actually a landmine. It doesn't blow up, but when you step on it, the other things explode and kill your friends, and you get psychologically damaged because you did it. So that's why that one's so bad.
Really devious.
And Tank, what is your favorite trap you pull out of the last bag?
Here's the thing. The last bag is full of tongue depressors and a scalpel. And this is all you. Here's the problem. See, you guys think these are all separate traps. This is one trap. What I do is I lure people in with the sign. It says pitfall ahead, right? And you put the leaves down and go, oh, I'm going to sidestep that. Too bad. What's to the side of that? A giant goddamn mouse trap. So you step to the side of that. What is it? Toxic scorpions. You step to the side of that, a landmine that massacres your friends. There's only one lane left. Oh, that'll be safe, right? Too late. I already set the timer. The timer's ticking. And now the tongue depressors go down one by one. The scalpel falls. You're fucking dead. I think of everything. I think of every contingency.
Over Tank's shoulder, all of Tank's men applaud and nod enthusiastically and kind of try to make eye contact with you as if to say, like,
oh, yeah.
And can Pickles ask Tank's men how many times this particular setup has worked?
There'll be zero, ma'am, sir.
Let me ask you something, Pickles. How many times did the experiment work before you tried it on me? When it comes to the clutch moment, this is going to come through. Okay, they didn't put me in charges. They didn't promote me to captain without a college degree for me to fuck this up.
All right, fair enough. You know what?
I think the trap was actually the microphone that Tank just drops. All right, so the group, have you made a decision?
I like tactic 2 because it allows us to expand our base and do some offense.
And then also maybe train those people in guerrilla tactics
and traps.
How to be IRS agents, maybe.
Postal workers, the proper way to pet a cat, which is not against the fur. It's with.
If we had cat parks, people would know this.
People would know this. See?
I can only imagine what Lita's life is like. Because in my mind, Lita's life is listening to people, not just here, but among the cats. Blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vanilla explosion. 3 feet. I just suddenly goes long.
She just is used to being around people who are constantly arguing and debating and acting like she's there, but she's not really there. So she's actually like, while this is happening, checking the little satchel she keeps on her side full of bones, just like little bones, just on the event that baby Rip should appear at any moment. She's still very paranoid about baby Rip. So she's just making sure she has a few chicken bones or some kind of small animal bones that are at her side. She's just like, okay, they're still here. Oh, they're still talking. Okay. Yeah.
So at this point, the little light goes on. You're wearing a little communicator badge. We talked after one of the sessions you appeared in about how some of the people that work for the committee actually have a way to communicate with the city, and you get basically a beeper call.
Okay, I'm gonna listen in.
Really a beeper, like it's got.
Oh, look at it.
It's up. It's Whiskers. Your order, the way he puts it, your order is ready. Leave Pickles, return immediately.
I would show it to the professor.
The order, the armaments. Lita, I think we need this.
Oh, okay. Should I take do you want me to leave you? It's been every time I've been separated from you, really terrible stuff has happened. So I'm, like I watched a lot of people get kind of obliterated.
Yeah, that's
last time when I was alone. So that was not ideal. But if you need me to do this, I can go check on it. I just also worry about leaving you here. I mean,
Yeah.
they're saying that means they want me to come back to pick it up, to get it with the
Looks like it. I guess they don't want to send anybody else down, but why would they only want you to come back?
I think they
Not-
think of me.
Do not delve too deeply into the narrative device used to give Anna the next session off.
So go. Okay,
Maybe they're trying to get rid of you, Pickles.
They maybe are trying to maybe, honestly, Professor, I think it's because they think of me as an errand girl. I think they just kind of, think I don't have anything better to do. I can go. I just would want to be sure that you'll be all right here.
Goldwater's here. Goldwater can handle things. I trust the man in the suit. Not so much the man in the translucent hat, or
that's
the man I created. I guess my own personal Frankenstein, I suppose. But at least we have Goldwater. It's Lita, you should go for it.
Say that out loud or use telepathy.
Oh, telepathy. Oh gosh, I'm not saying my own personal Frankenstein out loud.
Oh, so Navad didn't hear the translation.
No.
Okay, I just wondered how
critical.
Yeah.
No, okay. She'll say, okay, does she have the ability to respond back via the beeper?
Yeah. You just sent on my way. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we will end. Like I said, this will be a short episode because we don't know what episode 2 is going to be. The camera will pull back as the flitter takes to the air and pulls away. And from above, we see the military forces that have arrived in Bastion. Basically, they're going to take a day because they just had to travel for a couple of days. They're going to get some R&R, get ready to go out. And the leaders are going to make the plan. And we will execute that plan in 1 week.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
If I'm still playing Pickles, pretty much everything. My dice rolls are terrible.
I love that Lita was like, terrible things happen when we're apart. It's like, yeah, terrible things happen when you're together.
It's true.
Well, no. The Lita getting amazing powers at the cost of the nanomachines. That did happen when we were together. That did definitely happen when we were together.
Isn't the Jesus melting flesh?
No. We were together, but Lita decided to not go inside. So technically
I
separated.
did start
Right. Okay.
vomiting
Yeah, that makes
profusely and had to leave because I was very much unsteadied by the melting children.
There was the face melting children that definitely did happen, and totally actually maybe Jesus was also there.
For anyone watching, a lot of that I just threw at Josh, who is not really
Oh my gosh. Rolled with it like a pro.
Amazing.
rolled with it like a champ. So just so that anyone watching can understand what a triumph that
an unbelievable triumph.
Absolutely. Just ridiculously amazing.
I have studied improvisational comedy.
Well, there you go.
I did 4 sessions before. So
Did.
and I'll take your compliment.
So what you're saying is you're ready to teach.
I mean,
Isn't everyone ready to teach improv?
what
sorts of like a gestro, maybe like a sousson.
What?
You lost me.
Yeah, you lost me, Mike.
Shannon, you on?
I guess so. Colt, am I ready? Are we ready for the thing? Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the episode. As we said, we will be back for part 2 and the culmination of our adventures with Tank next week with our special guest, Mr. Josh Flanagan, who, as we said, did a fantastic job. And we're so happy that he was able to join us. We are also, as always, super thankful for all of our helpers, our moderator, Breeze, in the chat, our archivist, Sabrina, in the chat, Andreas, our narrator at the top of the show, and as always, our amazing technical director, Colt Joyce, who has a podcast. I hope you are able to go check out his podcast. He threw a link up in the chat. So go check out Colt's podcast. And until then, next Tuesday, we will see you in the wasteland.